Hello everyone, our subject motto is Mathematics Made Simple. In our lesson 4, we looked at index notation and we looked at what indices are, and we also looked at the laws, which were the product rule and the quotient rule. Let's go to our lesson 5. Our lesson 5, we have the power rule and the zero index. The power rule and the zero index. What is the power rule? If a is any number and m and n are integers, then a to the power m to the power n is equals to a to the power m times n. So when you are given a power and a power, that is known as an index of an index, what are you supposed to do? Multiply the powers. So we'll get rid of these brackets by multiplying m times n, which will give us a to the power mn. Let's look at an example. We have simplified the following. The first one is 3y to the power 4, and the second one is 2a squared b cubed to the power 5. So we have powers and the power outside. So for the first one, we have 3y to the power 4. Now, this 3 is the same as 3 to the power 1, and the y is the same as y to the power 1. So when we express 3y in index form by putting 3 to the power 1 and y to the power 1, using the index of an index to get rid of those brackets, what are we supposed to do? Multiply each of the powers by 4. So we have 3 to the power 1 times 4 and y to the power 1 times what? 4. So we'll multiply 1 times 4 and 1 times what? Times 4. So if you multiply 1 times 4, we are getting a 4. So we have 3 to the power 4 and y to the power 4. If you multiply 3 by itself 4 times, if you expand 3 to the power 4, you are going to get what? 81. So our answer is 81 y to the power 4. As simple as that. Let's go to the second one. We have 2a squared b cubed, all this to the power 5. So what are we supposed to do first? Express these 2 in power form. All whole numbers are powers by raising them to the power what? 1. Then what are we supposed to do? Get rid of these brackets by multiplying 2 to the power 1, a to the power 2, b to the power 3. All those powers, each of them should be multiplied by what? By 5, using the index of an index. So we have 2 to the power 1 times 5 times a squared, a to the power 2 times 5, and then we have b to the power 3 times 5. So if we multiply 1 times 5, we are getting 2 to the power 5, a to the power 10, and b to the power 15. 2 times 5 is giving us 10, 3 times 5 is giving us 15. If you expand 2 to the power 5, multiply 2 by itself 5 times, you get 32. So we have 32 times a to the power 10 times b to the power 15. Our final answer will be 32 a to the power 10, b to the power 15. As simple as that. Now, what about the zero index? Any number having a non-zero base and an index of 0 is equals to 1. So if you have any base, as long as it's raised to the power 0, it is equals to what? To 1. Let's look at an example. Find the value of, we have the first one, 5 to the power 0. Any base, whether you have a 5 here, a 6, a 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever number, as long as the power is 0, it is equals to what? 1. So 5 to the power 0 is equals to 1. And then we have 2x squared y, all this to the power 0. First, we use the index of an index. We'll raise 2 to the power 1. And then we have x squared. Then we'll raise y to the power 1. We express y in power form by saying y to the power 1. All that to the power 0. Using the index of an index, what are we supposed to do? Multiply each of the powers by 0. So we have 2 to the power 1 times 0. Then we have x to the power 2 times 0. And then we have y to the power 1 times 0. When we multiply 1 times 0, we are getting a 0. 2 times 0 is giving us a 0. 1 times 0 is giving us a 0. So we have 2 to the power 0 times x to the power 0 times y to the power 0. Now, we know that any base a to the power 0 is equals to 1. So 2 to the power 0 is giving us 1, x to the power 0 is giving us 1, y to the power 0 is giving us 1. When you multiply 1 times 1 times 1, what are you going to get? 1. Okay. Sometimes you can have problems more than one rule of indices. So we have problems applying more than one rule of indices. Let's look at an example. We have simplify. The first one is 3z squared over u cubed everything to the power 3. So we have 3z squared u cubed everything to the power 3. What are we supposed to do? Express 3 in power form by raising it to the power what? 1. Then using the index of an index, all these powers, power 1, power 2, power 3, are supposed to be multiplied by what? By 3. So we are going to get rid of those brackets by multiplying each of the power by what? By 3. So we have 1 times 3, 2 times 3, and 3 times 3. What are we going to get? 3 to the power 3 times, if you multiply 2 times 3, you are going to get a 6. 3 times 3 will give us a what? A 9. So we have 3 to the power 3 times z to the power 6 divided by u to the power 9. If you multiply 3 by itself 3 times, what are we going to get? 27. So we have 27 times z to the power 6 divided by u to the power n. Our answer will be 27z to the power 6 u to the power n. As simple as that. Let's go to the next example. The next example, we have 3 to the power 5 times 5 to the power 3 in brackets to the power 4. And then we also have 3 squared times 5 to the power what? 7. Now here, when you look at that, the first thing we are supposed to do is to use the index of an index by multiplying those powers 3 and 4. So we have 3 to the power 5 times 5 to the power 3 times what? 4. If you multiply 3 times 4, what are we going to get? A 12. So we have 3 to the power 5 times 5 to the power 12 divided by 3 squared times 5 to the power 7. Now when you look at this, we are dividing. Which rule can we use? We can use the quotient rule. When you are given powers which have the same base and you are dividing, what are you supposed to do? Subtract the powers. So we are saying 3 to the power 5 minus 2 times 5 to the power 12 minus 7, which is going to give us 3 to the power 3 times 5 to the power 5. That is our answer. I hope you have found this work simple. Let's go to our exercise.